Cody Schneider, you've probably heard of him. In a recent podcast, he talks about how to rank #1 in 24 hours. And that got us thinking here at Make It No Code. Let's automate what Cody's saying, eliminating 99% of the manual work. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can set up an automation based on Cody's podcast. The link to the original podcast should be down below. Check that out after you've watched this video. For the people who don't know who Cody is a renowned AI digital marketing expert. And he helped Rupa Health to a valuation of 100 million within the first year using content strategies. So what we're building is an automation, and we're calling it the Cody Schneider Method, which is analyze the top 5 ranking content for your target keywords. So that could be whatever keyword you want to rank for. Grab blog posts, YouTube articles, feed it to an AI and generate an optimized blog post based on that original article. And why would you want to do this? Well, who doesn't want to rank #1 in 24 hours? Let's be honest. You won't have to have an expensive team of copywriters. And what AI is really good at is taking unstructured data and structuring it. So it's just some of the stats from Google, why you'd want to be in the top 5. The first position gets like 40% of the clicks. The second gets 18%. The third gets 10%. Fourth, 7%, fifth, 5%. So let's try and get you to the top of Google. And for the people who don't know who I am, my name's Alex. I'm the founder of a successful digital agency. I've been thriving there for the last 15 years. My team and I specialize in helping businesses of all sizes clarify their business, build strong corporate brands, and create websites that dominate search results. So sorry for the long intro. Let's dive into it and make it no code. In this next part of the video, what I'm going to show you is where you can place your keyword, what results you can get from this automation, how the automation runs, and then I'm going to take you step by step through the automation, what parts you need to connect onto it, where you can find all of this, and what tools you need. And if you're interested in this, where you can get the files just to simply upload it straight to your make.com account. Okay, let's get started. So the first thing we're doing, this is our automation. We've split it up into 2 parts. So we've got a researcher automation and we've got an article creator automation. And both of them work together. So what we're doing, I'm going to show you #1 here at the top. This is what #1 looks like. And I'll take you through it in a sec. And this is what #2 looks like. So #1 is the researcher module and the other one is the article creator. And to put the keyword in, one of the first things we do is put in a keyword in our Airtable. So we've set up this whole Airtable. And Airtable is like a Google Sheets, but then on steroids. And what it does, it has in the back end, you can put loads of little webhooks and you can put a little script in. And that's what powers this whole automation. So this part actually talks to our scenario over here. Sounds complicated, it's not. You just need to get your head around how it works. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to first of all put our keyword in here, and then it should generate, or it should scrape all the data from websites. So the first 5 blog posts it should scrape, and then it should also, let me just scroll to the right, it will also scrape the first 5 transcripts for the same keyword that I'm trying to rank for. It will scrape the transcripts from YouTube, and it'll place them all in here. It will also add all the URLs and all the titles. So we have all this data to be sent off to part 2 of the automation, which is this one. So the article creator. Okay, so let's think of a keyword that we could use. Let's say a maths tutor in London. Maths tutor in London. Okay, so now you see this little drop down here. We made this little drop down. And if I hit research, I'm just going to go to my first automation. That's this one. I'm just going to hit run. And when you look at it now, everything is sort of blanked out and you see it's waiting for the data to arrive. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go, instead of awaiting, I'm going to go research. I'm not going to do anything, and I'm going to go back to the scenario, and you'll see that it will start working by itself. So what it's doing now, it's actually scraping the data from websites. So it's using part of Google search, and it's searching the top 5 search results, and it's taking the data using a perplexity module, and then it's putting all that data straight back into our Airtable. There you go. There's the first data. So that's the first result that you get for maths tutor in London. After that, after it's done all of this, it's going to revert back to this router here, and then it's going to use a third party called Apify. So I'm just going to open our Apify here, and you see there's a lot of code in here. So it tells you at the top what we're using, and I'll show you how to get that. Head over to apify.com. Let me just have a look. And that should look, here's apify.com. And then what do we do? Sign up for free, you get $5 for free. You can do loads of stuff with that. I think about 200 runs a month. I think I said that already. And we're using these. So in our case, I'm just going to open our YouTube scraper. If you want to find this for yourself, go to store, type in YouTube, just hit enter, and you'll see all the stuff, all the API connections that you could make. Really cool tool to use. I'm going to go for YouTube Scraper. That's the one that we're already using. The things that you do need to keep in mind. So when you set this up, you will have to set this as a maximum of 5 videos, because we're only scraping 5 videos. What else we needed to do is this is quite important. So download subtitles, save subtitles to the key value store. I put the language on English, and I prefer automatically generated subtitles, and I want to have that in plain text. So these are the things that it's using. I'm going to go all the way to the top, and then I'm going to hit JSON, and then it should have a big JSON file here. I just copy that. There's my language. That's quite important. Copy all of this. So I've got it under my copy paste button, and I'm going to go back to my scenario, open my Apify. So I copy the whole code in here, and then I scroll down until I see this one that says search keyword. I take this word out, so I just remove it, and I go back to my initial table, and I replace that with keyword. This way it's become an automation. After that, what it's doing, so this works. Let me just show you if there's any other settings. No other settings. I grab my Apify and I get the default data set. That's it for that one. Then I've put a router in, and I've split it off, and I just deploy all the data back into my Airtable. So this way I built sort of like a dual scraper, one scraping websites and another one scraping YouTube. So now I'm going to take you on to part 2 of the build. And before I explain this part to you, I would appreciate it if you could like and subscribe, because it really helps out the algorithm and us getting more videos out and getting more like-minded people to see this kind of stuff. So go down below, hit the like, subscribe bell icon. You'll be notified every time we make a video like this. What this part of the automation does, it also just talks to that same part of the Airtable. So I'm talking to a table called rank number 1 in 24 hours, the Cody Schneider method. And let me just have a look. It will grab all of this data. So as soon as this one is marked as complete, which it is now, so when it's working, it automatically changes to ongoing. And after it's done, it goes to complete. And now I can run part 2. So let me just do that. So I'm going to just speed this up, and I'm going to take you straight to the result that it's given us. So to do that, I'm going to go to our website, and I'm just going to quickly log in. And there's the Maths Tutor in London, the comprehensive guide. So let's just have a look at what this looks like. This is the result it's come up with. There's an image that it's created. So our whole automation, which I'll run through in a sec, has come up with this automation, this image, Maths Tutor in London and comprehensive guide. It's got a excerpt at the beginning, so that's a summary of the whole post, and then it writes out the whole post. And this should be good content. So let's have a look at it. Unlocking Mathematical Potential, the unlimited guide to the math tutor in London. Looking for a math tutor in London? You're not alone. Whether you're a student struggling with algebra, a parent seeking to boost the child's confidence in geometry, etc., etc. So I'm not going to read the whole thing for you. I'm just going to scroll through it so you can read it, pause the screen, read it yourself, see if you want content like this. I can also show you how we have prompted this. So that's the main part that actually feeds this whole automation here, or this whole content that's being made. I'm just going to open part 2 of the automation again. And this is what the automation looks like. So it's tracking that the stats or the data that's been put into Airtable. After that, it goes down either one of two ways. And the first way is where it creates an image. So that's the only difference it has in here. So like I showed you just now, it has an image at the top. That would be route one goes up there. There's an image, and then it puts it into your WordPress, and it also delivers it as a Google Doc. Depending on what platform you use, we've just connected WordPress on because that's easy for us to do. But if you're using Shopify or Webflow or any other CMS, you can just simply connect it in here. We have built it for WordPress because that's what we use. So this first automation just grabs it as an image, and the second one just the text and puts it into WordPress and the document, so you can just edit it, re-edit it, reuse it. And did you know this is just like the first part of what you could do with it? Because you could also repurpose your content straight into different platforms. So using the power of a tool like make.com, you could build another automation, and we have a video on that. So either check out our channel or our school community, and it shows you how you can repurpose this content that you're making right now. So this is content that people are really looking for because Google's indexed it, YouTube's indexed it. I know it's the same company, but they've both indexed it. So that there's a lot of demand for that kind of content. So you could repurpose it into your Facebook, into Instagram, make a Reddit post, make a Medium post, link it all back to your website, get free links that way, backlinks to your website, post it off to X, and we've made a video on how to sort of repost everything, how to do image generation for all of the platforms in your own tone of voice, and how you could even schedule stuff out. But that's maybe for later on. So sorry, let's just go back into part 2 of this automation. What it does. The prompting is like one of the main parts that you need to be getting your head around. So what a lot of people do is you say, I have a keyword, write me a piece of content on, and then you just get a generic AI slop, and Google will just go boop and down rank your website. So you need to have a good prompt. We have one in here. We're using Sonnet 3.5. We really like that. The max amount of tokens, we put that up to 8,000 if you want. We're putting in our prompt how long the word count has to be. So we're going for 2,000 words, putting in the keyword here. Write an SEO optimized description post. Aim for 2,000 words. Put that 3,000, 1,500, whatever you think is needed for that post. Insert SEO optimized H2 and H3 for the keyword. So that means that it's including the keyword in the H2 with header 2 and a header 3 tag. Skip the H1 here. Skip H1. Return an HTML format. Return the article without any further context. Otherwise, it's going to say, here's your article, and it will show that on your website. Then it will carry on. Here's the big prompt that we're using. Keep it real, keep it fresh, and keep it engaging. In first person, chop up complex tips into bullet points. I'm letting it write in the style of Alex Hormozy. That could be anyone that you want to mimic the style of, as long as they've got an online presence. You can sort of fill their name in here. No fluff, blah, 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 blah. So this is part of your prompt. I'm just going to scroll through it quickly. So take a few screenshots, or head over to our school community where you can just download all of this. We show you step by step how you can implement these prompts. After that, it's going to create a title, it's going to create a meta, it's going to create an excerpt, so it's going to create a summary of the whole content, and it's going to feed all of it back to our Airtable. Let's just have a look in our Airtable. Under article, there you go, it's feeding all of it back. So it's already got the meta, it's got the content, it's got a title, so it's already worked. So it's back into Airtable, and then after that, I'm asking ChatGPT to make a prompt so that we can prompt Leonardo. So it's making a summary of, the content that we gave it here. Then it's using that summary or the content to make a new prompt to be able to prompt Leonardo. After that, we're telling it to grab the image. Let me show you here. We're making an HTTP request to a deep AI, and then you put in your API key here. I've just taken mine out just for this tutorial. And then I'm grabbing the URL from there. So what it's doing, it's actually upscaling the image. So it's making a lot better resolution. If you want to have like a banner on your website, a full scale banner, you'd have to have a bit higher resolution than the max that it does within Leonardo, which would be 1024. And I'll even show you that if I'm in Leonardo, it should say here 1024, and the height of it is 576. So it's upscaling it to double the size. That this makes it a little bit of a better image to be viewed on the website. So after that, it just says get a file. So it's getting that file, and then it's uploading that file as an image into your media folder, in our case, into our WordPress website. So what it's doing, it's grabbing the data from this one here, and then we've given it the keyword, so that we're giving the image the name, the keyword, and we're also putting the created date there. We're doing the same for the title and doing the same for the alt text. And now if I just hit OK, then this post, this has been set up together with a plugin called Yoast SEO. We've got another tutorial on how to write blog posts with Yoast. Just check that out. There should be a link up somewhere at the top here. What we're doing, I'm just going to run through it quickly. We're putting the title in. I'm mapping the title. So each part of this whole automation. So I'm mapping each part of the automation. So I want the article to reflect everything that we've put in here, or that the AI has come up with. So we're mapping the title, and you can see it flashing here. So that's the title. Then it will map the content. Then it will map the excerpt, and it will also grab this little meta. And if you scroll down, we're putting in our blog as a category. We can have the featured image. We're grabbing the ID from there because it's already been uploaded within this part. So we're grabbing the ID. Next thing we do, and this is actually quite a handy little tip, because if you're using Yoast, you will have to put in this description. So please take a screenshot of this, copy it down for yourself, because this is the code that you will need to have those two little green balls. I'll show you it straight away. The two green balls that you're looking for within Yoast. This just saves you putting in. We're trying to automate everything, so let's just put everything in straight away, and let's do that in Make. And this is how you do that. So if I look down at the bottom here, it should say _Yoast _WP SEO _MetaDesk. That's the code that you need to put in, and then you put the value in of that, the content that's being created with the meta description from Claude 3.5 Anthropic. Then after that, we're putting the focus keyword in, and that would be the initial keyword that we've prompted this whole thing with. So that would be the keyword here from our Airtable. So it's putting that keyword in. Let me just have a look. So it's put the keyword in here automatically, and then it's put a meta description, and it's used the keyword as the first part of the meta description. And then it wrote the whole article. So I've got the two green balls here, and then it says here there is an improvement. So 21.5% of the sentences contain transition words, which is not enough. Well, either redo your prompt, tell it to give more transition words, and then see what the outcome is. It says the passive voice, all of this is good. The sentence length is great. Let's have a look at the SEO. Everything seems to be okay here. So back to the build. And then you could either choose which route it takes. So if I look back at the router here, I've chosen that it goes down the image generation path. I have chosen to go down this path so that it goes down, creates an article with an image. But I could right click here, and I could just say disable route, and then I could switch on the enable route for this one and just let that run automatically. What you could also do is just put in 100 keywords here. I put in like more keywords. Let me go to the beginning. Put loads of keywords in here, like 100 of them, and just put them all on, what was it? Research. And then it will just research all of them. It will write all the articles, and you will just have a whole batch of really good SEO worthy content. So the Cody Schneider method ranked #1 in 24 hours. Let me just recap. Analyze the top 5 ranking content, so blog or YouTube videos for your target keyword. Feed it to an AI, then generate an optimized blog post article. And to be able to do all of that, you will need the tools. So as promised, let me just grab the list that I made for you. The tools you'll need, first of all, a make.com account. We're using make.com. That's our whole channel is about make.com and what you can do with no-code tools. So make.com, 1,000 free runs a month. Go to make.com, top right, get a free account. All the links to all the tools we use are down below as well. Airtable account, there's a free version. There's also a paid version. OpenAI, you will need an OpenAI API connection. So to get that, go over to OpenAI, not the ChatGPT version. Don't pay the $20, or do if you want to use it. But we're talking about the API connection for ChatGPT. $5 of credit. When you run out, and you can do loads with that. When you run out, just top it up. Apify, they actually give you $5 back. So I think it's $5 is $0.08 per run. So that's about 200 runs that you could do with that per month-ish. Perplexity, $5 of credit as well. Perplexity is very analytical, comes up with sources. Claude API, $5 of credit. 3.5, it just gives you Claude 3.5 just gives you a very, very consistent output when writing blog posts. I love it for writing. So check that out. Generative AI. So we're using Leonardo AI. We just like the content that it comes up with. Use whatever generative AI API you want to use. You could use Midjourney. You could use DALL-E 3, and there's 1,000 other ones out there. And if you want to get hold of the files to this whole build, either build it yourself or head over to our community where you can just download all of the files, upload them straight into your Make account, and it will all be done for you. There's instructional videos on how to do everything, how to connect everything on. Makes it a little bit easier to understand, especially if you're just getting started with this. This is quite a complicated build. So I hope to see you in our community soon. And just remember, make it no code. Bye-bye.